You ever held on to a penny and thought, it's just 1 cent. What could it possibly be worth? Well, imagine if I told you that one of those pennies hiding in your kitchen drawer could be worth $1 million right now. Yes, you heard that right. One penny. $1 million. Now, before you toss your change jar into the nearest coin star, stop. You could be sitting on a life-changing treasure and not even know it. Let me paint a picture. You walk into a coin shop, drop a little brown penny on the counter, and walk out with enough cash to buy your dream car, pay off your mortgage, or take that luxury vacation you've only seen in commercials. That's not fantasy. That's the reality of the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. But why this penny? What makes it so valuable? And how can you tell if the one in your possession is the golden ticket? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know why this coin is worth a fortune, but you'll have the knowledge to spot one, sell one, and maybe even change your financial future. This isn't just about coins. This is about freedom, about not letting opportunities slip through your fingers, literally. First, let's go back to 1988. Ronald Reagan had just finished his second term. The Cold War was cooling off. And in U.S. Mint facilities, a quiet mistake was being born. In that year, the Philadelphia Mint released a small batch of Lincoln pennies without a mint mark. These weren't supposed to exist. The Philadelphia Mint typically stamps its coins with a tiny P, but somehow, this detail was left out. And that tiny absence? It created a massive opportunity. Now here's the thing. Not every 1988 penny without a mint mark is valuable. That's the catch. And that's where the story gets intense. You need to know what separates a regular old penny from the million-dollar anomaly. And don't worry, I'm going to break it down for you in just a moment. But first, let's talk about why collectors and investors are going crazy for these. It's simple. Rarity meets condition. Only a handful of these 1988 no-mint mark pennies were struck with an unusual reverse design, the same design used on 1989 coins. That means a mix-up happened at the mint, and those rare transitional errors are what collectors pay top dollar for. If your 1988 penny has this rare reverse, crisp, detailed, and in pristine condition, congratulations. You might be holding one of the rarest modern coins in existence. Hold up. If you're the type of person who tosses your pennies into the couch cushions or uses them to prop up a wobbly table leg, we need to talk. That table might be standing on a fortune. Go flip your furniture later. Right now, let's stay focused. First, check under the date. If there's no tiny letter, that's the first clue. But remember, no mint mark alone isn't enough. This is where the experts separate the winners. The valuable 1988 penny has the reverse design that belongs to 1989 coins. The best way to spot this is by closely examining the lettering, especially the letters in the word America. On the rare version, the G in E pluribus unum has a specific shape, and the spacing between letters is unique. The coin needs to be in extremely fine condition, ideally uncirculated. No scratches, no wear. These coins are typically slabbed and graded by professionals like PCGS or NGC. A penny graded MS67 or higher. That's where the real money is. This is where fear meets excitement. Because now you're wondering, do I have it? Don't go running to eBay just yet. Because if you try to sell it the wrong way, you could lose everything. Literally, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, lost in one bad move. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to protect yourself, where to sell your coin for top dollar, and what traps to avoid that could cost you your million-dollar payday. Get it professionally graded. You need certification from a trusted grading service. PCGS and NGC are the industry leaders. Without their stamp of approval, your coin is just a story with no proof. Step 2. Don't sell to the first person who throws cash at you. Coin dealers, online buyers, even shady middlemen, they'll all try to swoop in with low-ball offers. Don't fall for it. Instead, connect with trusted auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers. These platforms attract elite collectors who are willing to pay premium prices for rare finds. Step 3. Negotiate from a position of power. Know the market. Know the history. Know your worth. A 1988 no-mint mark penny in MS67 condition with the rare reverse design has sold for $1 million, and yours could too. You don't just blow it on flashy toys, unless that's your style. You invest. You build. You create the life you always dreamed about. No more financial stress. No more what-ifs. That's the power of knowledge. That's the reward for curiosity and action. Right now, somewhere in America, someone is spending their million-dollar penny at a gas station, completely unaware. Don't let that someone be you. Check your coins. Pay attention. Opportunity doesn't knock. It jingles in your pocket. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more rare coin stories that could change your life. And tell me in the comments, have you checked your 1988 pennies yet? All right, folks, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny before tossing it in your cup holder or that kitchen junk drawer? Yeah, I see you nodding. We all do it. But what if I told you that one of those little brown coins sitting under your car seat could be worth $1.1 million? That's right, $1.1 million. For a penny, not a stack of them. Just one. Today, we're diving into the 1996 D. Lincoln penny. This isn't just your average pocket change. This little guy could send you on a dream vacation, pay off your mortgage, and still have enough left over to buy every Funko Pop ever made. So stick around, because we're going deep into what makes this coin worth a small fortune and how you might have one sitting in plain sight. Okay, so let's break it down. The 1996 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the little d right below the year. Now, the average 1996 D penny isn't worth more than 1 cent unless it's in mint condition. But, and this is where things get spicy, a small number of these pennies have some incredibly rare features that send collectors into a frenzy. So why the crazy price tag? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and some jaw-dropping errors. One of the rarest known examples is a 1996 D penny struck on a bronze planchet. That's an older metal composition that should have been phased out way before '96. A mix-up at the mint meant this oddball got through quality control, and boom, $1 million mistake. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. He's one of those guys who saves everything. Like, he still had a Blockbuster membership card. Anyway, we came across an old piggy bank. I cracked it open, expecting some dust and maybe a few quarters. What I found instead was a pile of coins that hadn't seen the light of day since Y2K. Now, I didn't find the $1 million penny that day, unfortunately, but I did find a 1969 double die Lincoln cent worth over 10 grand. 10,000 bucks. I nearly dropped it into the shop vac before realizing what it was. That moment taught me one thing: never underestimate the power of loose change. Back to the 1996 D. Here's what to look for if you want to play detective with your coins. First, check for mint errors, things like off-center strikes, double dies, or coins struck on the wrong metal. If the penny feels heavier than normal or has a strange color, that's your cue to look closer. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe if you've got one. Or, be like me and hold it 2 inches from your eye while pretending you know what you're doing. Condition matters a lot too. We're talking about uncirculated condition, also known as mint state. If your penny has sharp details, a nice shiny surface, and no major scratches, you're in good shape. But the real jackpot is when all of those factors come together: rare error, great condition, and high demand. That's the magic combo. Let's talk numbers. A normal 1996 D. Lincoln penny? Still worth a penny, maybe a little more if it's super clean. But one of these rare error coins in pristine condition? That's where the $1.1 million comes in. One of these was auctioned off by a major coin house and blew everyone's minds with the final price tag. And here's a little-known tip. Coin dealers and collectors often use grading services like PCGS or NGC. If you think you've got a winner, get it graded. It costs a little upfront, but it can mean the difference between selling it for a few bucks and retiring early. Also, keep an eye out at estate sales, flea markets, even vending machines. I've heard stories of people finding crazy valuable coins and handfuls of change from parking meters. So here's the bottom line. That humble little penny you've been ignoring could be worth a fortune. The 1996 D. Lincoln penny with the right mix of rarity and condition has sold for over $1.1 million. That's the kind of thing that turns casual hobbyists into full-blown coin hunters overnight. Remember my uncle and his piggy bank full of treasure? He laughs about it now, but we both learned a valuable lesson. Coins are more than just small change. They're history, they're mystery, and sometimes they're money in disguise. If you learned something new today, or got even a little excited about rummaging through your old change, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips on coins worth serious money, plus strategies to help you spot the winners and avoid the duds. And hey, who knows? The next $1 million penny might be in your pocket right now. All right, fellas, let me hit you with a question that's going to mess with your head a little. What if I told you that one single penny, yeah, just 1 cent, from 1968 could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million today? That's not a typo. That's not a scam. That's a real coin, real cash, and it might be sitting in your junk drawer right now next to some loose screws and old batteries. Today, we're diving into the world of the 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, the plain old cent that's anything but ordinary. We're going to talk about why it's worth so much, what makes it special, and how you can spot one if you're lucky enough. So grab a drink, kick back, and let's talk pennies like they're Ferraris, because today, they kinda are. The good old 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. At first glance, it looks just like every other penny you've ever ignored on the sidewalk. Honest Abe on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Coppery, small, and totally unassuming. But here's where things get interesting. In 1968, the U.S. Mint was producing pennies in several locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, coins minted in Philly didn't carry a mint mark, while others did. But in this particular year, something went weird. A very tiny batch of 1968 pennies from San Francisco accidentally got struck without the S mint mark. And buddy, when I say tiny, I mean microscopic. We're talking needles and haystacks. So if you come across a 1968 penny without any mint mark at all, and it turns out it was supposed to be an S mint coin, congratulations. You might just be holding onto a coin that collectors are drooling over because of rarity, condition, and demand. It's that golden triangle in coin collecting. Rarity makes it desirable, condition makes it valuable, and demand makes the bidding war go crazy. If your 1968 no mint mark penny is in pristine, mint condition, we're talking full red luster, barely touched by human hands, it could fetch up to $1.2 million at auction. That's not just hype. That's what these bad boys have been going for on the open market. Now look, it's not every day you trip over $1 million penny. But people have done it. Some guy in Ohio, cleaning out his dad's old dresser drawer, found one. Thought it was junk. Almost tossed it. Had a buddy who knew a bit about coins take a peek, and boom, he's driving a new truck and paid off his mortgage. That's the dream right there. Now I gotta tell you something personal. A couple years back, I was cleaning out an old coffee can of change my grandpa left behind. The man never threw away a coin in his life. We're talking nickels from the 60s, wheat pennies from the 40s, even a silver dime or two. I'm elbow deep in pennies, figuring maybe there's something cool in here. After hours of digging, my eyes were practically crossed. I start Googling coin values, comparing dates, squinting at mint marks. Then I spot this 1968 penny. No mint mark. Heart skips a beat. I rush to get a magnifying glass like I'm Indiana Jones about to discover the Holy Grail. I even call my buddy Todd over, who's got this nerdy coin collector app on his phone. We analyze this thing like it's a crime scene. Well, turns out it was just a regular Philadelphia penny. Worth, you guessed it, 1 cent, but for those 5 minutes, I was already spending that $1 million in my head. I was picking out new tires for my truck, booking a cruise, naming a boat after myself. It was glorious. And you know what? That's half the fun, the thrill of the hunt. Because hey, next time, maybe I won't strike out. Let's say you want to up your odds of finding a valuable coin like this. Here's a few quick tips. First, check your change regularly. Yeah, that sounds obvious. But seriously, don't just toss coins in a jar and forget about them. You'd be shocked how many valuable coins slip through the cracks and end up in circulation. Second, invest in a decent magnifying glass. I'm not talking about some cheap dollar store thing. Get one that lets you see details up close. Mint marks, die errors, doubling. All that tiny stuff makes the difference between 1 cent and $1 million. Third, learn about coin grading. Condition is everything in the coin world. A scratched-up penny from 1968 is just a curiosity. A shiny, flawless one, that's a golden ticket. And lastly, hang out in coin collecting groups, online or in person. These folks are passionate, and they'll help you spot fakes, identify rare finds, and avoid scams. Plus, you might make a few new friends who speak fluent Lincoln. So there you have it. A little copper coin from 1968 with no mint mark, that could be worth $1.2 million. That's not just pocket change, that's life-changing cash. All because of a tiny minting error and a lot of curiosity from collectors. Now here's your mission. Go grab that old jar of coins, flip through those pennies, and see what treasures you've been sitting on. You never know. Your next grocery run might come with $1 million bonus in your pocket. If you found this video helpful, or even just a little entertaining, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss out on more wild coin stories, money-making tips, and the kind of numismatic nonsense we all love around here. Stick with me, and I'll keep showing you how to turn couch cushion change into cold hard cash. Hey folks, let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever accidentally tossed away a fortune? Maybe you dropped a dollar bill in a puddle or left a 20 in your jeans before doing laundry. Yeah, we've all been there. But imagine this. What if you threw away a penny? Yes, just a penny, and it was worth over $1 million. That's not a joke. That's a real thing. There's a 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny floating around out there right now, and it's got a jaw-dropping value of $1.3 million. $1.3 million. For a single cent now, if that doesn't get your coin-collecting senses tingling, I don't know what will. So sit tight, grab your coffee, maybe a magnifying glass, and let's dive deep into the world of rare coins. And who knows, maybe after this video, you'll be digging through your couch cushions like Indiana Jones. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes. First, let's talk about the basics. The 2013 Abraham Lincoln penny. You've seen it a million times, right? Good OL, Honest Abe, looking slightly to the right, sporting that stern but wise expression. It's part of the Lincoln Shield Cent series that started in 2010. Nothing flashy, nothing too fancy. But this particular penny, it's got something wild going on. And you might be thinking, so what? A bunch of pennies don't have mint marks. And that's true. But what makes the 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln penny stand out is how it was struck and what went wrong or right, depending on how you look at it. We're talking about a coin that was struck on a planchet error, possibly a transitional planchet or struck on the wrong metal composition. And those are crazy rare. Folks, not on top of that, it's in pristine condition. Like mint, state, 68, level condition. That's grading talk, but in plain English, it means this penny is so clean it practically sparkles. We're talking showroom shine. A penny that has never seen a dirty pocket or a sticky vending machine. Only one or maybe two of these are confirmed to exist in this kind of condition. We're not talking about your everyday pocket change here. We're talking about a coin that collectors go bananas over. This isn't a regular penny with no mint mark. It's a major mint error. These errors happen when a coin is struck on the wrong type of blank or with an incorrect die. That mistake makes it a jackpot for collectors. The coin's condition plays a huge, think of it like baseball cards or comic books. A mint condition coin is like finding a first edition comic still sealed in plastic. Total goldmine. Now here's the part that gets me every time. You know where the first one of these was found? At a flea market. Yep. Some guy bought a jar of old coins for $10. He took it home, started sorting through it, and boom, there it was. A shiny 2013 penny with no mint mark and something just a little off about it. He almost didn't notice it. He said it just looked different. That's the power of keeping your eyes open. He sent it off to get graded, and sure enough, rarity confirmed, error authenticated, value estimated at $1.3 million. And I'm over here feeling like a genius because I once found a quarter on the sidewalk. Let me tell you a little personal story. A few years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. Now, Uncle Joe is the kind of guy who saves everything. Like, he still has VHS tapes and thinks email is a passing fad. Anyway, we find this giant coffee can. Yep, a coffee can full of coins. Pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, just tossed in there for decades. I'm thinking, hey, maybe we find a wheat penny or a silver dime. So we start sorting, and I swear, I must have looked at 1,000 pennies. I'm getting carpal tunnel from flipping them over. Then, I spot this 2013 Lincoln penny, no mint mark. I nearly lost my mind. I thought I hit the jackpot. I rushed to the kitchen, pulled out a magnifying glass like Sherlock Holmes, and started Googling like a maniac. Turns out mine wasn't the rare one, just a regular Philly mint. But man, that adrenaline rush? That what if moment? It hooked me for life. And that's the beauty of coin collecting. Every coin you touch could be a life changer. It's like treasure hunting, but without the pirates. Let's talk strategy real quick. If you're looking to find one of these 2013 no mint mark beauties, here's what you do. Start by going through your change jar. Don't have one? Start one. Every penny counts. Literally. Look for Lincoln Shield cents from 2013. Flip them over and inspect the obverse, which is the side with Lincoln's head. No mint mark? That's step one. But don't stop there. Compare it to a regular one. If the coin looks different, like it has an odd color, metal tone, or looks super sharp and flawless, you might have something. Get it checked. Seriously. Send it off to a coin grading service. Don't just stick it in a drawer and hope for the best. Get a pro opinion. Don't fall for those eBay listings saying rare 2013 penny for $10,000. There are a lot of fakes out there. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Do your research, double-check your sources, and be patient. Coin collecting is a marathon, not a sprint. But when you hit that payday, oh man, it's so worth it. All right, my fellow treasure hunters, we've learned that sometimes the most valuable things in life are hiding in plain sight. That little 2013 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny? It's a reminder that even the smallest coin can hold a massive secret. So go check your change jars. Look under the car seats. Rummage through your old piggy banks. Because that $1,000,000 penny could be sitting in your house right now, just waiting for someone with a sharp eye to spot it. If you enjoyed this video and you want more tips on finding rare coins, valuable errors, and coin collecting strategies that could turn your pocket change into a payday, then do me a favor, smash that subscribe button. Hit the like button too if you had a good time hanging out today. And share this with a buddy who's always digging in their pockets for loose change. Trust me, we're just getting started. There are more hidden treasures out there than you can imagine. Hey folks, let me ask you something real quick. Have you checked your pocket change lately? I mean, really looked? Because hiding in plain sight might be a little brown coin that could straight up change your life. No, I'm not joking. Today we're diving into a little sleeper coin that's packing a serious punch, the 1988 D Lincoln penny. Now hold on tight because this isn't just any old penny. One of these bad boys recently fetched a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yeah, you heard me right. That's not a typo. And no, I didn't hit my head. That's $1.4 million for a single copper-colored penny from 1988 with a little D on it. And no, the D doesn't stand for dream, though it might as well. So grab a cup of coffee, maybe even your coin jar, because I'm about to tell you everything you need to know about this $1,000,000 penny, how to spot it, and why it's worth more than your car, your house, and probably everything in your garage combined. All right, let's break this down. The 1988 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver. That's what the little d stands for, just below the year. Millions of them were made, and most of them are only worth, well, a penny. But a tiny fraction, a very special few, have a rare error that turns them into gold mines. So what's the deal with this $1.4 million penny? It all comes down to what's called a transitional error. That's just a fancy way of saying somebody at the mint messed up, and collectors go nuts for mint mess-ups. D penny is what's called a reverse design mix-up. To understand it, we gotta take a quick detour to 1989. That's the year the U.S. Mint made a slight change to the reverse design of the Lincoln Memorial penny. They added what's called the FG initials, short for Frank Gasparo, the guy who designed the back of the penny, in a slightly different spot. D penny somehow ended up with the new reverse design a year early. That wasn't supposed to happen. It's like someone put a 1989 back on a 1988 front. And boom, just like that, you've got yourself a rarity. Now how rare are we talking? We're talking needle in a haystack rare. But they do exist. One of them ended up at auction, and collectors went bananas over it. That coin sold for $1.4 million. And the best part? It wasn't found in a bank vault or some museum. It was discovered in someone's loose change. Let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was helping my buddy move. You know how it goes, boxes of old clothes, cables from electronics that haven't existed since 1997, and of course, the random jar of coins. Now me being a coin nerd, I couldn't resist. I sat down with a pizza box lid and started going through those pennies like I was digging for gold. And wouldn't you know it, I actually found a 1988 D penny. My heart just about jumped out of my chest. I ran straight to my magnifier like Indiana Jones with a treasure map. But turns out, it wasn't the penny. Still, it taught me something. These valuable coins aren't mythical. They're real. They're out there. And someone is going to find the next one. So how do you know if you've got one of these valuable pennies? Let me walk you through it. Next, flip that coin over. You're looking for the initials FG on the reverse side. That's on the right side of the Lincoln Memorial, near the base. Now the secret is in the shape and location of those initials. On the rare variety, the initials are set farther from the building and shaped just like the 1989 design. That's your golden ticket. That's the $1.4 million detail. If you're not sure, grab a magnifier or compare it side by side with a regular 1988 D penny and a 1989 penny. The difference is subtle, but it's there. Also, keep an eye out for condition. While even a circulated version can be worth thousands, the big bucks, like $1 million level, go to coins in pristine condition. So if it looks like it's been chewed by your neighbor's dog, it's probably not going to hit seven figures. But hey, even 5 or 10,000 for a penny, that's still a win in my book. So let me ask you again, have you checked your change lately? Because your next trip to the gas station or your kid's piggy bank might hold a fortune disguised as a dirty little pin. The 1988 D Lincoln penny with that rare reverse is one of the coolest error coins out there. And it's proof that even in a world of digital everything, old-school pocket change can still blow your mind and your bank account. If this video got you digging through your couch cushions, then my job here is done. But hey, don't stop now. I've got loads more videos coming your way on coins worth real money, how to spot valuable errors, and strategies that can turn your hobby into a serious payday. So smash that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the ride, and hit that little bell so you never miss a single treasure hunt. Hey, listen up, folks. If you've ever thought pennies were just pocket clutter, I've got news that'll knock your socks off. One tiny copper-colored coin from 2018 with a little D mint mark. Yeah, I'm talking about the Abraham Lincoln penny, just sold for a whopping $1.5 million. That's right, $1.5 million for a penny. Before you start flipping over your couch cushions and raiding your kid's piggy bank, let me tell you why this happened, how to spot this rare gem, and how one little mistake at the mint turned loose change into life-changing money. So grab a drink, kick your feet up, and let's talk about how a 1-cent coin can make you a millionaire. And don't worry, I'll also throw in a personal story involving a metal detector, a mosquito ambush, and a penny that almost changed my life. Almost. At a glance, it looks like any other penny. Copper-plated zinc, Lincoln's profile on the front, the Union shield on the back, and that tiny little D under the year, meaning it was minted in Denver. But the devil's in the details. Now, most 2018 D pennies are worth, well, a cent. Maybe two if you're feeling optimistic. But one incredibly rare version had a minting error so precise, collectors went bananas over it. The $1 million version of this coin has what's known as a double die obverse. That means when the coin was struck, the die, the stamp used to imprint the design, shifted slightly. As a result, Lincoln's features, especially his eye and the inscriptions like "I in God we trust," appear slightly doubled. It's a subtle but noticeable shift, kind of like Lincoln had a few too many the night before. The strike is exceptionally sharp. The coin looks practically brand new, full red luster, zero wear. That condition is called MS-70 in grading terms, which is as perfect as it gets. That perfect storm, mint error, top-notch condition, and rarity sent its value through the roof. All right, you might be wondering, how the heck does a penny with a little mistake become worth over $1 million? Well, collectors love errors, especially ones that are dramatic, rare, and well-preserved. Think of it like a misprinted baseball card or a rare comic book cover. It's the screw-ups that become collectibles, and on top of that, the 2018 D Lincoln penny marked a time when modern coins started getting more attention. People realized that not all valuable coins are from the 1800s. Even coins minted in our lifetime, coins still in circulation, could be worth life-changing amounts if the stars align just right. Last summer, I was out with my buddy Dave. He's the kind of guy who buys every gadget off late-night TV. So, of course, he bought a metal detector. We're out in the woods, sweating through our shirts, looking like two confused pirates searching for buried treasure in a city park. After about an hour of digging up bottle caps and rusty nails, I finally get a hit. I dig down, and there it is, a shiny penny. I wipe it off, and wouldn't you know it, 2018 D. My heart did cartwheels. I flip it around, squint at Lincoln's face like I'm some CSI expert, and for a second, I swear I see a doubling. I'm shaking. Dave's screaming. We run back to his house like two lunatics. I grab my loop, pull up reference pictures, start comparing. Turns out, nope. It's just a regular penny, worth 1 cent. We laughed about it for hours. But ever since that day, every penny I touch gets a full inspection. You never know. First, check the date and mint mark. It's got to be 2018 with a D under the year. Second, get a magnifying glass or a coin loop. Trust me, your eyes aren't good enough. Look at the words "I in God we trust," "Liberty," and the date. If they look doubled, like there's a shadow or ghost image, you might be in business. Next, check the condition. The shinier, redder, and more perfect the coin, the higher the value. Coins with scratches, dings, or discoloration are still interesting, but won't hit the $1 million mark. If you think you've got something special, don't spend it at the gas station. Take it to a coin dealer, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, and see what the pros say. It might be nothing, or it might be your retirement plan. Coins like this are out there, in jars, drawers, and couch cushions across the country. You don't need to be a millionaire to find one. You just need sharp eyes and a little patience. And hey, even if you don't strike gold, it's still a fun hobby. I mean, where else can you make money by literally looking at money? So, the next time you get change at the grocery store, don't just toss those pennies in your car's cup holder. Take a second. Look for that 2018 D. You never know. You might be holding a coin worth 1.5 million bucks. And if this kind of treasure hunt sounds like your thing, hit that subscribe button right now. We've got more hidden gem coins to talk about, more strategies to build your collection, and more laughs along the way. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Let me ask you something. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and thought, well, this is basically just 1 cent closer to a soda I can't even afford? Yeah, me too. But what if I told you there's a penny out there that looks just like every other old copper coin, but it's worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million? That's right, one little coin, one tiny Lincoln penny, and not from some mysterious ancient hoard or buried pirate treasure. Nope, we're talking about a 1969 D Lincoln penny, straight out of Denver. And it could be hiding in your couch cushions or coffee can of spare change right now. Now before you run to flip your couch upside down or start raiding Grandpa's coin jar, sit tight. I've got a story, some facts, and a few laughs to help you figure out how to spot this $1 million treasure in your pocket change. Let's start with the basics. The 1969 D Lincoln penny, minted in Denver. This little guy seems pretty ordinary. I mean, if you saw it lying on the ground, you might not even pick it up. But here's where it gets juicy. In the world of coin collecting, it's all about the details. And when it comes to this 1969 D penny, the devil is definitely in the details. What makes this coin worth $1.6 million isn't just its age or the mint mark. It's a rare combination of a few factors that makes it a superstar in the coin world. Now, don't confuse this with the more famous 1969 S double die penny. That's a whole other beast. But the 1969 D has its own elite fan club, especially because of one ultra-rare version with a dramatic strike error that slipped through quality control. We're talking about a coin with near-perfect condition, razor-sharp strike, beautiful coppery glow, and a minting anomaly that got collectors all fired up. So how did one of these humble copper coins end up worth more than a beachfront condo? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and that lovely little D mint mark. In top condition, we're talking mint state, untouched, flawless kind of quality. This coin has fetched up to $1.6 million at auction. That's not pocket change, folks. That's retire on the beach money. Now let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know, one of those sure, I'll help for pizza kind of situations. While we were going through boxes of dusty old tools and VHS tapes nobody wanted, I spotted an old coffee can labeled nails. But it didn't sound like nails when I shook it. It had that glorious jingle of coins. I cracked it open, and sure enough, it was full of pennies. Most were dirty and green from decades of neglect, but I figured, what the heck? And started looking through them just for fun. And guess what? I found a 1969 D Lincoln penny in that can. My heart started racing. I held it up to the light like Indiana Jones in a treasure cave. Could this be the one? Well, it wasn't the $1 million one. It was scratched up and had probably survived a lawnmower at some point. But that moment right there, that got me hooked. I dove headfirst into the world of rare coins, errors, mint marks, and wild auction stories. And now I'm here, helping you do the same. First, check the condition. If it looks like it was run over by a tricycle, it's probably not going to be worth much. But if it's crisp, clean, and almost brand new looking, now we're talking. Look for sharp details on Lincoln's face, a clear D under the ear, and no major scratches or wear. Next, check with a grading service. PCGS or NGC can give you a professional evaluation, and trust me, it's worth the fee if you think you've got something special. That grading can be the difference between a $10 novelty and a $1.6 million auction hammer. And if you're not sure, take it to a reputable coin dealer. But be cautious. Not all dealers are created equal. Do your research, get a second opinion, and don't let anyone lowball you into trading your treasure for a pack of gum. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I've been tossing pennies into the tip jar for years without a second thought. And hey, same here. But that's what makes this hobby so fun. It's like playing the lottery with better odds and a whole lot more history. Plus, you get to sound super cool at parties. I mean, who doesn't want to be the person who casually drops? Yeah, I once found a penny worth over $1 million in my sock drawer. Instant legend status. Oh, there you have it. The 1969 D. Lincoln penny. Just one tiny coin. But with the right condition and a little bit of luck, it could change your life. $1.6 million for a single cent. That's the kind of upgrade that'll have your wallet singing hallelujah. If you've got a stash of old change somewhere, now's the time to go digging. Check every penny, especially the ones from 1969 with that D mint mark. You never know, you might be sitting on a gold mine disguised as a copper coin. And hey, if you found this video helpful, entertaining, or at least slightly more interesting than watching paint dry, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I've got more coin collecting tips, strategies, and million-dollar stories coming your way. You don't want to miss it. Hey folks, let me hit you with a little trivia to kick things off. What's small, brownish red, easy to overlook, and could be worth more than your house? Nope, not your old high school yearbook photo. I'm talking about a penny. That's right, 1 cent. And not just any penny. Today, we're talking about the mysterious and mighty 1982 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Yeah, you heard that right. 1.7 million bucks. For a coin that most of us probably walked past in a parking lot last week or spent on stale gum from a vending machine. Now, before you start flipping your couch cushions or prying open your piggy bank from 1982, stick with me. Because in the next 40 minutes, we're diving deep into this incredible coin, how it happened, why it's rare, how to spot one, and what makes it so dang valuable. And to make this extra fun, I'll share a personal story of how I almost spent a coin that could have changed my life. Spoiler alert, I've made some dumb decisions, and this one ranks near the top. Okay, so let's rewind to 1982. Hair was big, music was loud, and pennies were going through an identity crisis. Here's the deal. In 1982, the US Mint made a big change. They were switching the composition of the penny. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper. But copper was getting expensive, and the Mint was like, nah, we're not going to spend more money making money than the money is worth. You follow? So they switched to zinc pennies with just a thin coating of copper. But here's the twist. During the transition year, 1982, they actually made both copper and zinc pennies. And they made them in 7 different varieties based on composition, mint mark, and design. One of those coins, an unusual 1982 penny made of copper, struck in Philadelphia, without a mint mark, and using a small date design, ended up being insanely rare. So rare, in fact, that only a few have ever been confirmed. One sold for $1.7 million in a private auction. And no, this isn't some urban legend. This is legit numismatic history, folks. All right, so you might be wondering, how can a coin that says 1 cent be worth more than a Lamborghini? It's not like Lincoln's winking on it or something, right? Well, it's all about a few key things: rarity, condition, error, and demand. First, this 1982 penny without a mint mark was supposed to be made of zinc, but this one's copper. That's mistake number 1. Second, the small date design used on this coin wasn't supposed to be paired with copper either. Mistake number 2. And third, the coin was struck in Philadelphia, which didn't put mint marks on their pennies back then. So it looks just like a regular old penny you'd get in change at the gas station. Collectors go bananas over error coins. And when a mistake happens during a transition year like 1982, and only a handful slip through the cracks, that's the numismatic jackpot. Now top that off with the fact that the discovered coin was in mint state condition. Sharp details, no wear, looking like it came straight from a time machine. That's like finding a DeLorean in perfect shape with 0 miles. Now I know what you're thinking. I've got a jar of pennies sitting in my garage. Maybe I've got one of these bad boys. First, flip over any 1982 penny you find and look at the date. You'll want one that has a small date rather than a large date. It's a subtle difference. On the small date, the numbers are more delicate, and the 2 in 1982 is curved and lines up slightly lower than the 9 in the 8. Second, It has to not have a mint mark. If you see a little D under the date, that's Denver. We're not looking for that. We're looking for that sweet, clean, mint mark-free look. Third, it's got to be copper, not zinc. Here's a quick way to test it. Copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams, while zinc ones weigh 2.5 grams. So you'll need a precise digital scale. Yeah, this part's kinda nerdy, but hey, it could net you $1 million. Worth it. If you've got a no mint mark, small date, copper 1982 penny that weighs 3.11 grams, get that baby authenticated immediately. You might be sitting on a gold mine disguised as pocket change. Back when I first got into coin collecting, I was at my uncle's house helping him clean out his garage. We came across a massive tin can full of old pennies. I'm talking hundreds. So naturally, I started poking through, looking for wheat pennies and cool dates. I remember finding a few 1982s, and I thought, meh, modern. Probably not worth anything. I even remember one that looked shiny and coppery and had no mint mark. That penny probably bought some stale candy or helped someone break a 20. And now, here I am, years later, making videos about a coin I might have had in my hand that's worth $1.7 million. Try realizing you chucked your financial future into a Coinstar machine. So learn from me, my friends. Don't ignore your pennies. Some of them are holding secrets. All right, let's say you find a penny that matches all the right traits. No mint mark, small date, copper, 3.11 grams. Here's your next step. Do not clean it. I repeat, do not clean that coin. That's like trying to polish the Mona Lisa with a dish sponge. Leave it alone. Then, take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate it and grade the condition. Once that happens, if it's the real deal, you'll have collectors, auction houses, and coin geeks like me knocking down your door. You could end up at an auction where the bidding starts at a house down payment and ends at a beachfront villa. So there you have it, folks. The humble 1982 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, something that most people would walk right past, could be your ticket to millionaire status. It's wild to think that something so small could be worth so much. But that's the magic of coin collecting. You never know what treasures are hiding right in front of you. And hey, even if you don't find the $1 million penny, just taking the time to learn and look is half the fun. You'd be surprised how relaxing it is to sort through coins while sipping some coffee or watching reruns of Matlock. Go check those jars. Dig into that junk drawer. Ask Grandma if she's got an old coffee can full of change. Because the next millionaire might be watching this video right now, and it could be you. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth serious money, collecting strategies, and all the wild stories from the world of pocket change, smash that subscribe button, give it a like, share it with your coin-curious buddy, and stick around.